Hey everybody, my name is Juan. Today, I'm going to show you guys how to make my white chocolate chip toasted coconut cheesecake. It's really good. It's really creamy and thick. It's very comparable to the Cheesecake Factory cheesecakes. You most likely cannot have more than one slice. Alright guys, let's go over the list of ingredients. We have 1.5 cups of graham cracker crumbs. These are your graham crackers. What you're gonna do is you're gonna throw them in the food processor, or you could even use the blender. You wanna use about 1 pack of these plus about 2 sheets of crackers. Let's move on. 6 tablespoons of butter melted. You don't need to use the actual tablespoon. Your sticks of butter have the measurement. Just cut it to size, put it in the microwave, 10-second increments. 5 packages of 8 ounces each cream cheese softened. Half a cup of sugar that we have right here. 3/4 of a can of condensed milk. I prefer using lechera. 1 3/4 cups of white baking chips, melted and cooled. Make sure you use a double boiler to melt them so they don't stick to your pan and you don't ruin the chocolate. 3/4 of a cup of coconut milk. When you buy it, it's going to be separated, so make sure you pour it into a larger container and you mix it properly before you measure it up. We have 2 teaspoons of coconut extract, 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 4 large eggs, lightly beaten. Lastly, we have 1.5 cups of sweetened shredded coconut, toasted and divided. As you heat it over medium heat, you're going to start mixing it immediately because within less than a minute, it starts burning if you don't. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna preheat our oven to 325 and we're gonna place a 9-inch, 3-inch deep springform pan. We're gonna wrap the foil securely around it, like I show you guys right here. You have to make sure to buy the 18-inch aluminum foil. If not, it will not cover all around. When we bake our cheesecake, this is gonna be submerged partially in water. So you have to fully wrap it and seal it. All right, first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take a little square of butter, gonna lightly grease it all around. All right. We'll go through it fast. Oops, sorry. All right, for the next step, we're gonna go ahead and mix our graham crackers and our butter. Ooh, it's childproof. Got it. Slowly pour your butter in there. All right, we're gonna check it, make sure the consistency is good. Keep in mind, this is the bottom of your cheesecake. This is the crust. It looks good, nice and flaky. All right, once your graham cracker mix is prepared with the butter, you're gonna take the 9-inch springform pan and you're gonna prepare the crust for the cheesecake. We'll put this aside real quick. You're gonna bring this in. Just gonna pour it in. Make sure you get all of it. Spread it out. Make sure everything's covered. Make it even. And then you can use a glass. This is what I like to do. You press it down all around. There it is. All right, next, we're gonna put all our cream cheese, all 5 bars, in our mixer. We're gonna go ahead and set this up. So we're gonna start turning it, and we're gonna mix in the sugar. You wanna create a paste with that and the sugar, and your condensed milk. All your sweets going right now. You're gonna beat it until smooth, so go ahead, turn it up a little, get it going. Be careful not to overmix it. Make sure you check it periodically. Don't just mix it because you're gonna have a lot of stuff at the bottom that is not mixed. So what you wanna do is cut it off once in a while and go through it and just unstick it. Mix it by hand a little bit. All right. There we go. Our next step is we're going to put in are white chocolate chips. Remember, they need to be melted with a double boiler. All right, mix this in. Our next step is to put in the coconut milk. Make sure everything's fully mixed before you add the eggs because you're going to slow it down so you're not going to get a proper mix. Put it at a slow stir. Put in your eggs. You're going to beat that on low until it's just blended enough. You do not want to overmix this. It's a good mix. I'm going to show you guys. All right, you see that mix? It's good. Don't waste your batter. It's good stuff. The next step is you're going to put in your vanilla and your coconut extract. You put it in, you mix it up. By now you should have a liquidy consistency. It's not going to be solid like when we began. Then you're going to fold in about half of your toasted coconut, okay? Don't overdo it. You don't want to affect the consistency too much. We're going to go ahead and pour everything into our spring form, okay? All right, you see that? Nice and chunky. There's all that coconut. Oh. Make sure you have a spatula handy so you can finish pouring all of it, okay? Get all that goodness in there. All right. From there, you're going to go ahead and put your spring form in a pan. You're going to put an inch of water, inch and a half. It's up to you. Just make sure not to overdo it. And make sure you don't put so much water that when you drop your spring form, it's going to overflow. Keep in mind, the water is what's going to cook your cheesecake. It's not direct heat, okay? And it makes sure it cooks even. You're going to drop it in there and put it in the oven. Ooh, perfect. So you're going to go ahead and put it in your oven for 60 to 70 minutes or until the center of the cheesecake looks a dull consistency, I guess you would call it. But it looks a little bit dull. There's no more shine to it. The center has to be fully cooked. Okay, we are now ready to put our cheesecake in the oven. Once your oven's preheated to 325, go ahead, put it in the top rack, center of it, very carefully so you don't spill the water, and you especially do not want the water to get in your cheesecake. Put it in the center, close it up, set your timer. You want 60 to 70 minutes on this. I'm gonna put it for 60, check it, and then we'll go from there. All right, we're all set. Now we wait. Hey guys, so here's our cheesecake. It's already done. It's already set. I baked it for 60 minutes. After you bake it for about 60 minutes, you want to turn off your oven and leave it there for about another hour. You want to let it air cool until it's cool to the touch. Then you can refrigerate it, preferably overnight, but it's up to you. You can do a few hours just until it's good enough. The reason you do not want to pull it out of the oven when it's done is because the air temperature change can cause cracks on your cheesecake, and you want a nice smooth cheesecake. Let's have fun decorating now. You good?
Yeah.
All right, so the next step is you're going to carefully take off the spring form. Once it's cool, before you take it off, you want to run a knife along the edges. If you have anything sticking, it should be separated. But if not, it's really simple. All right, now that we're ready, I personally love putting almonds on my cheesecake. You're gonna gently press it along the sides of the cheesecake, all around, by regular sliced almonds. If you prefer any other kind of nuts, you're welcome to use them. It doesn't have to be almonds. What do you think, Audrey? You like it?
Yeah, that looks pretty.
You can either decorate it with your coconut ahead of time, or you can set it aside and your guests can put their own. I love coconut. There we go. There's our cheesecake. All right, let's cut it. Look at that. Nice, rich, creamy. Whenever you're gonna cut it, just to make sure you get a nice even cut, you want to put your knife, preferably in hot water, and make sure you wipe it in between every cut. And there we go. What do you think? And there you go. This is the best cheesecake I've had. Try it. It's creamy, thick. Perfect. Alright guys, we're done with the cheesecake. I hope you guys get to enjoy it. Give me a thumbs up, follow, comment below. Let me know if you want any other flavors of cheesecakes. I love playing around with cheesecakes. I will be throwing in some other recipes as well that don't relate to cheesecakes, but this is my thing.